Bill, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Jim. Okay, well, we don't have any pre-meeting program here, so we'll just get started with our program here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this March 2022 meeting of the Mike and Key Amateur Radio Club. It's good to have you all here this morning. We'll go ahead and start with officer and editor reports. And that starts with me, the president, K7PIA. It was good to see you all at the swap meet this last Saturday. It was a great success, and I thank you all for helping out and being there. I hope you all had a good time. I know I sure did, and I hope to see you next month at the general meeting over at the Salvation Army. Go to Vice President Steve.
All right, thank you very much. I am still working on, at this point, we do have a quorum. So I'd like to go ahead and go for approval of the last month's general meeting as published in the relay.
K7RHE, I so move.
Okay.
KJ7GLB, I second.
Thank you.
W7GIL, I will second.
All right, so can we get a vote, please? Thank you.
Steve, did you vote?
I did vote. Thank you.
Okay, closing the votes. We got 100%.
Okay. All right, let me get. All right, let me get here and. Okay. Trying to find the people here that are prospective members. Rita, you've got the wrong, you should have an asterisk, not an exclamation point, Rita. You've been here long enough, Rita. You should, we'll start with David, KK7CSD. David is a prospective member. He comes to us from Ravensdale, Washington. He's associated with Costco. He has a technician class license. He's interested in learning more about amateur radio and participating. He's interested in the swap meet. I don't know if we saw you there or not, but picnics. That's it. David, if you can tell us something briefly about yourself, that would be great.
Sure. I apologize for the echo. I'm in my shop and it is what it is. Yeah, I do work at Costco. I've been there 37 years. I think, as I put in my little bio thing, I got into radio, I won't say ham radio, but CB in the 80s. Had a lot of fun with that. Was hoping, before now to get my amateur license, but time didn't allow it with family and work. So now was the time for me to start that venture. So I do have my technician's license. I'm studying for my general. I'm not sure if I will ever study for the extra, but that could be something in the future. Like to camp, travel, work on motorcycles. I'm interested in digital modes. like QRP when I'm traveling and camping, and just, just regular rag chewing, I guess.
Okay, thank you very much. Manfred, you usually have got a pretty good idea who are the other people that are visitors. I see another one that is waving at me that might be someone. I do. There we go, Mark. Thank you for waving. Mark, J7MLX. He comes to us from Seattle. He is an architect software developer. He holds an extra class license. Thank you. He's interested in learning and making connections. He's interested in attending field day, technical special interest, swap meet, and the picnic. Mark, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? We cannot hear any audio, Mark.
Yeah, okay, got it. Morning, everyone. I've been an electrical engineer since probably the 5th grade. And it's been my vocation for decades. I'm also a software developer. Have wanted to be a ham since I was a teenager. And somehow that never happened until just recently. My interests are in a lot of hacking. I like to make stuff. I design and build hi-fi tube amplifiers. I also design and build guitar amplifiers. I build networking systems for, in the 90s, I built a fiber optic networking system that was used on probably every rock and roll tour on the planet that was above a certain size. And my systems were used to control the Houston Astrodome, GM Place in Vancouver. My systems control their 80,000 watt sound system. My systems were used by U2, INXS, Elton John, Herbie Hancock, a bunch of people. I helped design the CPU chip that landed on the Comet a few years ago, the Huygens probe. So I have a pretty deep technical background in all areas of electronics and software. And my interests are to blend that in with my new hobby of hamming. I have FT991A base station and FT5DR mobile, and have actually built plates through the wall in my home so that I can feed the antennas in a meaningful way without it being ugly and everything. So that's a little bit about me. I hope to bring, my technical abilities to things that the club is doing. Although I just got a pretty hardcore new job, so I'm going to be pretty busy for about the next 6 months. So that's it for me.
All right, thank you very much. And we'll go to KJ7BCF. He comes to us from Linwood. He's a software developer, holds a general class license, interested in field day, attend, operate, and setup. Yay, thank you for the setup. Technical special interest, education and training. That is it. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yes, hi Steve, hi everyone. My name is Claudio Pacciarini. I began the ham radio hobby in 2017, and then I had to put it on hold because too busy with work, and that's always the case, always busy with work, but once in a while I have a little bit of a breather, and I go back to the hobby. My interest mostly is in emergency preparedness, and emergency communication, and also learning more from all of you, really. And the other thing I would like to do is really install an HF antenna, the one that I had before it broke after a 3-year storm. So that's something else to do. In case of equipment, I have a bunch of handhelds, FT5DR, FT2DR, FT60s. Mobile, I have the Yaesu FT875D installed in the car with the 80 AS and self-tuning antenna. And then I have the Icon 7300, but I need to get the antenna again back working. So any recommendations, let me know later when you have a chance. Yeah, other than that, thank you for having me, and yeah, I would love to join this club. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you very much. Manfred, do you see anyone else that is a perspective that I might have missed?
No, I don't. Let's just ask if anybody else who got an email that would be voted on today. I guess it's those three. Thank you so much all for applying.
Did you
Okay.
already talk with Dave K? I might have missed it. KK7 CSD.
Yes, we did.
Okay, sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. All right. Jim, would you throw them in the waiting room, please?
Okay, unmute. So for those of you, we're gonna put you into the waiting room and vote on you. So hold on. Okay, got the 3 in the waiting room.
Okay. I'm going to start with Dave, KK7 CSD. Anyone know anything about Dave? He is the gentleman out of Ravensdale with Costco.
I shop at Costco.
He would not be our only employee or only
Only person
from
shopping at
Costco,
Costco.
37 years at Costco. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
All right. If no one knows anything about him, any comments? All right. Let's go ahead and launch the vote, please.
Okay, and hold on. Launch.
I voted Jim.
Yay. I don't want to close the votes until you do.
Well, aren't you
So-
talking about lunch? I haven't had breakfast.
Yeah. Launch the vote. Launch the Krakens. Okay, vote is closing. 100%.
All right. The next one is, I'll find them on my list here. Mark, K7MLX, excuse me. He comes to us from Seattle. He didn't put his class. Oh, he is an extra class. He is the software developer architect. Anyone know anything about him?
Got some impressive background there.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it really does.
Be interested to hear some of his stories.
I want to see how he got his antennas out of his house.
We could use him for a backup on the technical net. Man, that's deep resume.
Yeah,
I
very.
was thinking the same thing, Mark.
Backup, give him a primary position. I'll,
Well, he also
I'll be the
said that
backup.
he's got new jobs, so he's got, you know, a lot of he'll probably have a lot less time than he was expecting to. So, all right. Any comments? All right. Thank you for launching that. All right.
Okay, last chance. And we got 100%.
Okay. And our last one here.
How many votes, Jim? Or
Oh,
how many people
38.
are 38? Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's see here. Give me a minute. I've got to go make sure that I get everyone checked in today. All right. KJ7 BCF comes to us from Linwood. Is a software developer, a general class license, interested in field day, technical special interest. Technical special interest, public service, education, training. Anyone know anything about him? Okay. Any comments? All right, there we go.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 38.
Okay.
100%.
Right.
That's it, right? Yeah, 3.
That's it. I'm going to go ahead and update the spreadsheet, Manford, and that's it.
Congratulations to our 3 new members. So as new members, you can go up to the Mike and Key website and click on the membership tab, and there you can send us your first year of dues either by PayPal or Square. And if you have a check, you can also mail it to the post office box. Congrats, guys.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, congratulations to the new members and thank you for joining us.
Claudio,
Next-
did you have a question?
Yeah, I sent the check like 3 months ago. I think you should have it, but you want.
Okay, I'll look for your stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That was weird. I usually send an email an email saying, "Hey, you're too early." I'll double check though. Thanks for the update.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Steve, and congratulations to the new members. We're glad that you have joined us. And next we move on to our secretary is Carl in 7CJR.
No report from me.
Okay, thank you. Treasurer Jim, KE7JIM.
Okay, so the only thing that I've got on my plate is the swap meet. Yeah, that's a lot of fun, isn't it? Sure. So for those of you in the country store that sold things there, I'm processing your checks now. They're in the mail through Bank of America. You should be getting them next week on Friday the 25th. And I sent emails out to everybody this morning. I do not have totals yet, not even going to try to guesstimate because we have way too many things that I still need to send payments out to. But the important thing is I got those people that sold things in the country store out, and I do have several checks that for regular membership, and I also have the license plate tabs for the trailers. And there was also a couple of donation things from the swap meet. So we'll have that for next go round. That's all I've got.
All right, great. Yeah, the SWAT, it's like, hope everybody had a good time at the SWAT meet, and hopefully we did okay, money-wise. Activities manager, Jason, KG7GLB.
Phil, thanks, man. Good morning, everyone. Let's see. The activity for this month is obviously our elections that'll be coming up here shortly. The presentation for next month, I'll be working with whoever the new activities manager is. Good luck to those who are up for who have been nominated and are going to be running. So we'll get something nailed down there. If you do have presentation ideas and suggestions, I'll certainly pass along any of the stuff that had recently come in and all the other details and things that I've kept over the last couple of years. But of course, if you got ideas, send them over to activities@mikeandkey.org. Also, same thing, all donations, auction donations are welcome. Of course, the auction turns into more of the raffle as we go back to our in-person meetings. So certainly be working with the new activities manager on that process. Considering it's not something that in my 2 years, it's all been COVID, so it's all been remote. So we've tried to do the auctions. So we'll get back up going with the raffle process and what have you. So if you have items for the raffle, again, reach out to activities@mikeandkey.org. And remember, all the proceeds from the auction, raffles, all that jazz go to the month-end gifts, or not month-end, year-end gifts. I wish they were monthly. Year-end gifts that we give away. So we were lucky enough to be able to, as you guys know, give away about, I think, 6 items this past year. And that's it for me. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Jason. And thank you for your service as activities manager. You've done a fantastic job. And I'm looking forward to spending some money, putting some tickets into the raffle again. That's always fun, seeing what's there on the table. Next, we go down to Radio Officer Hal, N7NW.
Hi, nothing to report. Been rather a busy time here the last couple of weeks, needless to say. Weather starting to beautiful day out here today. Heck of a rainstorm last night and yesterday, so I haven't looked to see what the site looks like, but once the snow clears, we'll probably try and get up there and take a look at that. But I expect that won't be till last year when I tried it. It was like into April before I could get up there, so or longer. I forget. It's a lot of snow in the shaded parts of the dirt road going up, but nothing to report.
Great. Thank you, Hal. Web committee, Dave Smith or Dan?
Nothing necessarily to report.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dave. New stuff on the, it's like new, say, remember you can send, if you see something that's not right on the website, be sure to email the web committee and they'll take care of it. Relay editor, David, W7DAO.
Nothing to report other than the usual thing. Please keep your cards and letters coming. Always want to welcome a submission. Also, this is still a help wanted. I'll be releasing my job as the relay editor with the starting with the July issue.
Okay, great. Thank you, David. Yep. Or if you're interested, be sure to shoot him an email. And if you have those articles, be sure to send them in, including stuff from the swap meet. It's not too late. Move on here to our standing committee reports, and we'll begin with membership. Manfred or Rita.
Good morning, all. I have nothing to report. If Manfred has something, he can take it. And I'm leaving in about 20 minutes. I have something else I need to do this morning.
Nothing from my side either. Thank you, Rita. Congratulations to the new members. That's wonderful to have you 3 on board.
Okay, great. Thank you, you guys. I don't see Jay here, so nothing for facilities, other than I think the Salvation Army is a go when we're ready. Education and training, Robert. KF7
morning.
RW.
Good morning. Just a couple things. I'll have Scott fill you in on the training or the testing we did at the swap meet. Daniel Stevens is putting on a class this morning and next Saturday in North Bend, and they'll be testing after that class next week if anybody's interested in that. Other than that, I'll hand it over to Scott to fill you in.
Oh, I'm a little surprised, so I'll have to get something up here. But we had 39 people take exams from us at the swap meet, and it was 19 in the second session, the 11 a.m. session, 11:15 session, and we got done with that session in 1 hour because we started doing all electronic. So it made it real easy to process a lot of people. I can't get out my statistics right now. So back to net control.
All right, thank you, Robert and Scott. So wow, 39 people. That's excellent. Let's see, public service. Robert's here, KD7 WNV.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. First on the booklet, we did end up getting the booklet printed. For those of you who weren't at the swap meet, we distributed it down there. We were not able to go with our normal printer up at the Monroe Reformatory. They were having all sorts of problems, COVID, staffing, backlog, and paper supplies. It turns out all the printers are having paper supply problems. We did end up going with a commercial printer and just printed it on normal, ordinary 20-pound paper. So it's a lot lighter than normal. We printed about half the normal quantity, 1,500 copies instead of a little over 3,000 as in prior years. Despite that fact, we still have quite a few left over from the swap meet. I'd estimate about 650 to 700. I gave a partial box to Daniel for his classes, maybe 250 to 300. And I have a full box, which I estimate at about 400 copies. So when we resume in-person meetings, we'll have them there. And also, I probably will pass some of those along to some other groups that do testing or classes if that works out. Let's see. Oh, yes, the PDF of the booklet is available for download from the public service page on the website. There's a link there. And I'm going to send out a little note about that on the reflector today with some tips on how to view that optimally on your computer, and also how you can print your own copy if you want to. It only takes 6 pieces of paper, double-sided. So that is it on the booklet. And then on public service events themselves, we have a few events coming up in late April and early May. We have the Olympus Road Rally, April 23rd, 24th. Also that weekend, the Walk MS in Seattle, which will be at Gasworks. Up on Whidbey Island, the Whidbey Island Marathon. Then the next weekend, April 30, May 1st, the Walk MS events in Olympia and Everett. And May 15th, the Capital City Marathon. May 20 through 22nd, the Oregon Trail Road Rally, which is actually down in the Portland and Columbia Gorge area, but chance to do some traveling if you like. And that is all I have for public service right now.
Hey, Robert, I might want to hook up with you and grab some of those, grab a bunch of the pamphlets. We've got a number of PSRG meetings where I'd like to be able to offer those up if people are interested. I'll contact you offline.
Great.
And are all those public service events on the website?
I don't think Dave has had a chance to get the website updated yet with that. But I can include the list in the email that I send out on the Reflector for anyone that needs the info.
Okay, great. Thank you, Robert. I'll have to take a look at that and sign up for some stuff.
Yeah.
Can I
go ahead?
Can I ask everybody to please mute yourselves unless you're actively talking? We get some intermittent background noise. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, guys. Technical and special interest, Dan or Mark?
Well, I have nothing to report unless Mark has something to add.
Not hearing anything. Okay. Thank you, Dan. And we'll move on to swap meet here. Hal and or Mike.
We had a swap meet. Nobody.
Boy, did we.
Nobody died. Yep.
Yay.
Yay. Better than the last one. So we learned a few things, I think, due to the shortage of staff and stuff. We tried a few things, and lo and behold, the alternative worked, and we may be able to, I think, cut down on some of our staff issues next year, and some of the jobs we can get rid of. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. Tired as a dog, and being on my feet for a couple days. So, but all I have until we wait for the financials from the treasurer, we're all excited about that. Mr. Dingelman, any comments?
Not really. I put most of my comments in the relays. So a few things, like you say, we learned from this year, and a few things I learned to apply for next year. So look, of course, I don't know. We have a variant in the UK now swinging up, and we'll probably follow in about a month. I'm certainly hoping 2023 is more normal, though. So we'll
the old Deltacron.
Yes.
How the new pallets work out?
We need more. I will be writing an article for the relay. If you have access to pallets, maybe at work or something like that, we can collect up over the next year. That will be good. I'll write they just can't be any old pallets. So, but I'll write something up in the article for next year. But it was okay. The number we had worked well because we had a lower vendor count. But if we had had 2 full floors, it wouldn't have done as well. We couldn't flood the floors with pallets on teardown. We just didn't have enough. So we probably need another 30 pallets. That's all I got.
But on the other side of it, we didn't have the backup full pallets at loading dock. So maybe that's a better way to go.
Teardown was very fast.
Setup was really quick too. It's like I was surprised how fast those tables went up.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, if anybody has suggestions to make things better, be sure to send us an email.
I was gonna comment on Phil. I said, yeah, who were those guys?
All I got.
All right, thanks you guys. Yeah, that's I think it was a successful swap meet. Everybody had a good time, and I know I sure did. And I hope you all did too. Okay, let's see here. Field day is David, WA7 Delta Yankee.
Hello. So swap meet is over. So field day planning is spinning up in earnest. Let me drop the link here. The survey responses have been great. I've had 107 people who've responded. So if you haven't already filled out the field day survey, and if you're even have an inkling that you might come to field day, please check the survey out. It gives, if you're not familiar with what we do for field day, it gives you a very brief kind of description of where we'll be and when you need to show up and stuff like that. So it gives you a little bit of information, but if you would fill that out for me, indicate any areas that you're interested in helping out. I'm starting to work through the responses now and reach out to people who've indicated interest in different areas and start to assign them and confirm them for very, specific jobs, specific times, specific places. So if you indicated interest, keep an eye out. I'll be getting to you probably over the next week or so. The biggest gap that I see right now, or the thing that's, they always ask it, we always ask at work, what keeps you up at night? The one thing that keeps me up at night right now is I have not secured all of the 2 tower trailer towing people. So right now I have 1 confirmed and I have 1 other possible. I would like to have 2 confirmed and 1 backup. So if you can tow a trailer, you can fill out that survey, or I'll also put my email in here. You can contact me directly and I can share the information with you, but the trailers need to be on site no later than 9 a.m. on Friday morning, and then they need to be pulled off site on Sunday afternoon. So I'm desperately looking for, I would like to have 2 more people that could do that, just so I know we have a backup. And of course, the club will cover your expenses, so tolls and fuel and all that. So I know that's not cheap right now, but we'll have the checkbook ready. But everybody else, thanks for filling out the form. We've got a lot of interest in a lot of different places. So what I'll be doing this year that might be different than last year is reaching out to everybody individually and assigning some specific tasks. So we're going to try to identify people for tent setup and tower crews, very specifically. So I appreciate everybody who's open to doing that. I think having people who are dedicated.
I was interested in meeting other interesting people.
David, Sam, do you have a pinout of the trailer connector for prospective tow people?
I did it once when I was a kid.
I don't know that yet. So I actually I'd actually asked Ivy about that one. As I understand it, our trailers both have connector adapters. So in theory, I think we can connect to different styles. I apologize. I don't know that much about towing trailers myself. So I'm hoping whoever volunteers knows more about trailers than me. But from what I understand, we've added adapters now so that we can adapt to the common plug style. So we should be good, but we'll be taking a look at those in the month of April and confirming, especially once I know who the towing volunteers are and what equipment they have. So other than that, just please fill out the field day survey if you haven't filled it out already. And then those of you who indicated you were up for different jobs, I'll be reaching out to you to coordinate the different categories. And then of course, in June, our June club meeting, we will have a full field day pre-briefing so everybody can see, all the details about field day. So thanks everyone.
All right.
Also, does the equipment...
Ask a question quickly to David. How heavy would the trailers be? Because I do have a vehicle, but it's a Jeep Wrangler, and you're not supposed to pull too much weight with those things.
Sure. So some people who have towed the trailers, I think, are on today, so maybe they can provide some more detail. I'm not sure exactly how heavy the equipment trailer is, but it is the heavier and taller one of the 2. The tower trailer is much, much lighter, but it is longer. Okay. So from what I understand, I think the tower trailer is a little bit shorter and quite a bit lighter and is longer. But I think that one's probably pretty easy to tow. The equipment trailer is taller and definitely heavier, though I don't know the exact weight.
Okay, and it's just those 2 trailers.
Does the equipment trailer have electric brakes?
Yeah, I believe the equipment trailer is the one that has electric. brakes.
Thought it
No,
was the other way
actually,
around.
the tower trailer is the one that has the electric brakes.
Oh, that would make sense. Okay, so we won't tow the
Um,
equipment trailer with the tiny Jeep.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not certain about the weights. I'm not certain that the tower trailer is lighter. With, and that's the one with electric brakes. It would make sense if it were the heavier. But neither one is, well, would be a good thing to get them weighed. I don't know. I guess there is some substantial weight in there.
So when I towed them, I towed it with a Ford F-150, and the cargo trailer is a 2007 Cargo is the name of it, Inter Cargo, and then the other one was a 1980 tower, a homemade tower trailer.
It would be helpful if you comment on the lengths of the two trailers, because that has a lot to do with how you tow.
Yeah, definitely the tower trailer is the longer of the two.
Yeah.
We don't know the foots, huh?
Nope, don't know the foot. I will be heading out and putting stickers on it. I'll make some measurements when I go to do that, just so that we have it. I won't have the weights, of course, but at least we'll know how long it is. And I'll take a picture of the connectors too. I think
Hey,
they had
Dave.
the regular connectors.
Are they both single axle?
No, they're both double axle, I believe.
Dave, this is Carl. I can be a backup if you can't find anybody. I wasn't planning on attending, but I
Yeah,
will-
so great. So Carl, I will you're not planning on attending, but you want to be there. I'll add you to my list. I'll add you to my email for that. But yeah, let's I think we probably want to move on. I'm sure not everybody,
yeah.
Ultimately it's only like 2 or 3 of us that need to know the gory details of towing the trailer, so I don't want to bore everyone. But yeah, Carl, I'll add you to my list.
You might want to comment on where we can stay, or if you're going to be there for the week and what have you, or even the weekend, the 2 nights of the weekend. Where can I sleep?
The barracks will not be available. There's basic information on the survey. I will drop the survey in the chat again because I see it scrolled away. There's basic information. We will have group camping available. You'll need to sign up with Dick. His information is on the survey. You just need to let Dick know that you're coming.
And it is available for a week. So if you can't, so if you want to, you can come on Monday and stay till the next Monday. Radio camp. So yeah, be sure to let Dick know. And also, David, band chairs, have you gotten in touch with the band chairs and see if they want to continue on?
Yeah, so again, that's another group that I'll be sending emails out to and confirming that everybody is locked in, as well as their assistant. So that'll be coming up in the next week or 2.
Okay, great. Awesome. Thanks, David. Thanks for staying on top of all this stuff. I'm looking forward to coming back to Fort Flagler finally. Okay, I don't see any other committees. Is there any committees I missed or didn't call on? They have anything to report? I hear nothing. We'll move along here to old business, and the old business this month is the election, and that's our board chairman, Manfred.
Okay, thank you, Phil. Excellent. Right, so the way we need to do that is as follows. We have 5 elected officers whose term is 1 year, so they're all up for re-election. And we have out of the 5 trustees, 2 trustees, the even trustees number 2 and 4 in an even year that also need to be re-elected. Their terms are 2 years, and those terms are up this time. So we have candidates for all of those positions, at least one for each one. And before we elect a specific candidate, there's still an opportunity for others to announce themselves as candidates or get nominated by somebody else. And finally, the last trustee position, number 4, that I'm currently holding, and I'm also running for. Again, I can't oversee that election myself, so I would have to ask another trustee, Robert or Dan, to run that part of the election. Okay. I think that is how we need to do that. I've never done this before, so if I'm not doing it correctly, please let me know.
Doing good.
All right. Okay. So the first position to be voted on is our president. Phil has been our president for the last year. Phil, thanks so much for your service to the club.
My pleasure.
And he's, huh?
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Great, and thank you for running again. So currently, Phil is the only candidate for president. And is there anybody else who would like to run or get nominated? Okay, if not, then Jim, could you please put up the votes for voting
So
for Phil?
just as a note here, there are 42 members at this point in time.
So only members vote. Everybody else, please don't vote.
Thank you. And yes, and we do have a quorum, obviously.
Yes, we had
need
a
at least
quorum. A
30.
quorum was 30.
Right,
Yeah.
excellent. Thank you for doing that.
And anyone voting on number 2 is not going to win. Unfortunately, the poll, it only has 2 slots. It won't let you do 1 slot. So I will share the results. We had 98%. One person voted for number 2. So
Not unanimous.
congratulations.
That's 101%. How'd that happen?
Excellent.
Well, somebody voted that wasn't supposed to vote.
So I guess we'll just throw out that number 2 vote.
Yep, throw out the
Unanimous,
number
yay.
2 vote.
I think you should start a vendetta against whoever it was.
Well, number 2 is running for vice president also.
All right, so congratulations, Phil. You're elected for another year. Perfect.
Thanks,
All good.
guys.
Okay, so then the next position we have to vote on is our vice president. Steve Cook has been running, has been our vice president for the last year. And thank you also for your service, Steve. And Steve is also the only candidate so far. So is there anybody else who would like to run for vice president? Okay, if not, then Jim, could you please put up the vote for Steve?
Number 2. Who works for number 2? And no
Number
voting for
2.
number 2.
I don't know if I'd like that moniker.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the vice president is number 2, so.
Well, all right.
Oh man, we are just going down the old.
Okay, so again, we've got.
Congratulations, Steve.
Well, if you vote for number 2, you're voting not to have one.
I didn't mean it like that. He's number
Yeah.
2
No, let's
officer.
not go there.
Good choice
All
of
right.
words, Phil.
Okay, onward and
Very good.
upward.
Very good. Thank you. Congratulations, Steve. Thank you for running
you.
again. Excellent. Okay, then we have our secretary position. Carl has been our secretary for the last year. Again, thank you also for your service. And is there anybody else besides Carl who would like to run for secretary?
I nominate Mark.
Which one? Mark? 7
No, just kidding.
That's a good one.
Close call. Okay, all right. If there's nobody else, Jim, could you please put up the vote for Carl?
Okay, number 2 is working for a lot of different slots here.
Well, if number 2 wins, that's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, last chance.
You know, I've been in organizations when they only have one candidate where they say the president is being instructed to cast one vote and then they don't bother with the poll.
Yep. Congratulations, Carl. Another year.
Mr.
keep
Contrarian
getting-
voted again.
Yep.
I keep getting reminded of the prisoner.
Just remember, you're number 6.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Carl.
I'm not a number, I'm a free man.
Okay, so the next position am I muted?
No,
I'm
you're
not.
good.
Okay,
Nope.
very good. Sorry. Okay, so the next position we're voting on is the treasurer, and our outgoing treasurer is Jim. Thank you so much for your work for not only 1 year, but many years. So that was excellent. And it's a very
5 years.
position. Yeah, 5 position with high responsibility for the club. So
Should have gone for
thanks so
10.
much. Thanks so much for your service. We do have one candidate to be voted on, which is who is Scott Gilliard, KC7 SAG, and this position requires being vetted by the board. The vetting occurred last board meeting, and Scott was vetted. So thank you so much, Scott, for running. And we do have only him as a candidate, so we can't add anybody else at this point due to the vetting process.
Well, number 2 still wants to run.
I don't think number 2 was vetted though.
Oh, that's true.
Hey, could Scott introduce himself so we could take a look and see what he looks like?
Scott is muted and doesn't have his camera on, but he is in the meeting.
Yes, that is another requirement, of course.
He's the red, white, and blue G at the bottom of my screen.
Yep.
Well, no one voted for number 2 this time.
Unanimous. It's amazing.
Okay, great. Congratulations, Scott. Thank you so much. That is a lot of work coming your way, but I'm sure you'll be doing a fantastic job. Okay, so then now it gets interesting. For the activities manager, we have 3 candidates, and let's see. Jason was our activity manager's outgoing, and would like to thank him also for his excellent service this past year. We have 3 candidates so far, and we could, if somebody else wants to nominate another one, we'll be taking that nomination too. Yes.
I don't think one of them is in the meeting, so that's person will have to be removed.
Okay.
So
the
who do
3
we have
candidates are
currently?
I don't know. Can we get a list of who's currently running?
Jackson Davis, K7 CTB.
Is that required that they have to be at the meeting? to
Must
voted
be
in?
present.
Yeah, you gotta be
Okay.
here.
Yeah, that is written in the bylaws. Second candidate is David Gerald, KJ7 AKG. And the third one is Jeff Seaman, KJ7 TTY.
I believe Jeff is not here unless I am mistaken.
We got to
So-
hear from each one of them.
So is David
If they
here?
want to.
Is David here? KJ7 AKG.
KJ7 AKG.
I don't see him.
Jackson K7 CTB. Are you here?
I think so.
David is here, or was here. I don't know.
Yep, he's here. Looks K7 CTB is here.
Mm-hmm.
And who was our third? That's
Jeff Siemens, and he is not here.
okay, because I'm editing the poll right now. So
And he was also listed for a trustee position as well, so he'll have to be removed from both of those. Unless
We got two of 3 candidates.
Right. Okay.
And maybe it would be helpful to get, maybe since it's more than just one, maybe we can hear from them of what they, if they want to say anything to the club. Help.
I think that's a good idea.
So maybe the first candidate, who was the first name there?
I think that was me.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think all 3 of us were the 3 new members in January. You know, we were given the hard sell about volunteering for one of these. So in fact, I don't even think that activities manager is the one I volunteered for, but that's okay.
You'll do a great job. It's all good. I'll help you out. And then how about the second candidate?
David, KJ7 AKG.
He's the one that's not here.
No, we said Jeff wasn't here.
David not here now. He was here earlier.
Yep, not here.
Okay, well, that makes it.
Well, one of three, so
Okay, hang on.
sorry, Jim. I thought there were two.
Okay, if we only have one candidate,
Okay.
then Jackson, thank you for running.
Thank you,
So-
Jackson.
Okay, so
So
is there anybody else who wants to be nominated, by the way? I
Oh.
should ask that too officially.
so number 2 is running again.
Okay. All right, nobody else running, then we'll vote for this position. Please submit your votes.
Okay.
I noticed number 2 appeared at the top of the ballot this time. They'll probably.
Is there a
win.
preference?
What are we saying?
That's just where the edit had to fall.
5% this time. We got more votes.
Yeah, he number 2 had 2 votes, and Jackson, congrats, you got 38 votes. Therefore, you're the winner.
Yeah, congratulations, Jackson.
Thank you.
I'll help you out, work with you. We'll get stuff transitioned over. So
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jackson. Wonderful. Congratulations. Okay, so then these were the 5 officers to be re-elected or elected in the first place. Now we have 2 trustees. Trustee number 2, the position currently held by Dan, KG7DAB. Thank you so much, Dan, for being our trustee for 2 years. And you have chosen not to run again, but we do have one candidate, Jason KJ7GLB, to be voted on. Is there anybody else who would like to run? We already know that Jeff Seaman isn't here. So it would only be Jason so far.
Oh no, number
Jason.
2 is gonna make an appearance again.
I'm going to shed a tear if number 2 gets more votes.
Okay, so no other candidates. Jim, could you please put up the vote for Jason?
You know, number 2 really shouldn't be able to vote because he or she isn't here. All righty, last chance. And thank you, Jason.
Excellent.
38.
Jason,
There was
congratulations.
1 vote for number 2 again.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations. Okay, so with that, I have to hand it over to somebody else. Robert, would you mind running the election for trustee number 4?
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
If you tell me who's running.
Manfred.
Yes. Yes.
Manfred would like to be re-elected.
Not necessarily. Find
Is Manfred the only candidate?
so far?
Yep.
But please feel free to
Are there any other candidates or persons who would like to be nominated?
I nominate number 2.
I don't think number
Thanks,
2
Dan.
can accept that nomination.
Number 2 is
Okay.
can't accept it.
Well, it looks like Manfred's the man, and so we'll have the vote.
Boy, number 2 just can't win today. 5 at-bats and struck out again.
I think we ought to throw him out of the club.
That's right. I think he or she should be ejected. Thanks,
I-
Manfred.
I'm the one who voted for number 2, so just
Manfred's the troublemaker. See, we get him for another 2 years. Oh, Lord.
Well,
All
at
right,
least now we know
congratulations.
who's been voted. Thank you.
I think there was one
Congratulations,
candidate
Manfred.
for each. That was it. Wow.
Yeah. Congrats, Manfred. Thank you.
thank you so much for your votes. Yes, so okay, so I think that's it. Thank you so much for participating in the election. And with that, I think I'll hand it over to the president again. Our new president and old president.
Old and new. Yes. Thanks, Manfred. Congrats to the new board members. I look forward to working with each and every one of you here in the upcoming year. Should be a good time, I think. Is there any other old business for the club for the meeting today? Any new business? Anything for the good of the order today?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Hal.
Are we voting for attending in person in April?
That will be at the board meeting.
Decision, right?
That's
Yeah.
a board meeting thing.
But unless something changes with the pandemic issue, we decided last board meeting to meet in person.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other question, I guess, is also a board question, so maybe I'll just reserve it for the board. I just wanted to be sure that we're going to continue Zoom with the board.
It's like, oh yeah, in any case, there will be a Zoom option if you can't attend in person.
Yeah, we've got all the Zoom gear. Jim and I have tested it. We'll be running that for sure in all future meetings, no matter what. So.
Yeah, and for now that I've stepped down from treasurer, I'll still run the Zoom unless something happens, and then I'll make sure there's a backup. And I will be helping our new treasurer, Scott, make the transition.
Okay, yeah, great. So if you can't make it, you guys, don't feel bad about attending on Zoom. It's an option, and it's like you're just as much a participant as coming in person. So we welcome you all to come, whether it be in person or right here on Zoom. Okay, so I do have a few things for the good of the order today. Let me go ahead and post this again in the chat. It relates to our Mike and Key Discord server. If I can get the link here, copy it and paste it correctly. Here we go. So here's the link. It's in the chat, voice, video, and text chat and listing and stuff like that. It's like it's all available 24/7 for Mike and Key members. Basically, it's Zoom, but available 24/7. And it's actually a little bit better, I think. So if you're interested, come and follow us there and chat it up with your fellow members and hams. And Comm Academy, that is coming up here in a few weeks, Saturday, April 9th. It will be YouTube live stream this year, and you can find it over on commacademy.org, commacademy.org if you are interested. And that it's a lot of stuff about emergency communications and stuff of that nature. It's usually pretty interesting. So I will post the link there too. If I can get that going. I'm going right here from a Word document. Here we go. Boom. And here's another interesting thing. It's like I got a few events coming up here. Another one, and the one after that is Microhams. If you're at the digital conference, if you're into digital radio and that kind of stuff. That's also a YouTube live stream. That's coming up on Saturday, May the 7th. And I will post the link once again. It'll be available in the chat. And like that one's usually good. If you're interested in digital radio, that's a really good one to go to. I've been there a few times and it's always a good time. Well, I've always learned a lot from that one. And here's the biggie for the ARRL Northwest Division. We're having the CPAC, which is the ARRL Northwest Division Convention. That is June the 3rd through the 5th down over in Seaside, Oregon. It's a really good time. You get to see a lot of people you don't usually see. It's from all over the Northwest. A lot of good, it's like all the vendors and manufacturers will be there. There'll be a swap meet, not as big as ours, but there'll be a swap meet. A lot of forums, a lot of interesting things to learn and stuff like that. So that will be down in Seaside, Oregon, the first weekend of June, June 3rd through the 5th. And it's cpac.org if you want to, for information and if you want to register for that. Anything else for the good of the order today from anybody? Go ahead.
Phil,
yeah.
Also the Stanwood Camano Ham Fest is coming up on May 14. And it's in a different spot this year if you're used to going to, I think it was the middle school. It's going to be at the Stanwood Camano Fairgrounds. And I'll mention that information about all of these events is in the public service booklet as well. So download that and you'll have it there too.
Okay, great. So that's May the 14th.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a pretty good swap meet. It's not nearly as big as ours. It's maybe a quarter the size, but still pretty good.
Okay, cool. Can you post a link to that website in the chat if you could? I'd like to learn more about that.
Yeah, I will do.
All right, thank you, Robin. Anything else from anybody today for the good of the order?
I have something.
Go ahead, Gregor.
I have 3 subscriptions left for Ham Test Online for the general training. Any tech that wants one should send me an email. First come, first serve.
Okay, great. So you techs out there that might want to upgrade to general, get on HF. It's like be sure to contact Gregor. Do you have an email address that they can contact you at?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat, but it's also on QRZ.
Okay, great. Thank you. Good of the order still. Anybody else have anything?
Oh, I got.
Go ahead, Dick.
Yes, I've heard from a couple of people during the meeting about camping at the Wagon Wheel. Feel free to contact me so I can get the plans figured out for where we're going to squeeze all these folks in. And anyway, yeah, get a hold of me as soon as you can. Name, call sign. If you've got a tent, trailer, or RV, and what days you're going to be there, or rather which nights you're going to be there. So that's about it. Hope to hear.
Oh yeah, it's like I will be there for the entire week in my usual spot within a tent, and I'll be putting up my step IR and making some good contacts during radio cam. Oh, by the way, that's what we call the week before field day. It's radio cam. I think Jim Monson came up with that one here. It's always a good time. So if you can, once again,
What step IR are you putting up, Phil?
the crank IR.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah. I meant to say crank IR. It's a portable vertical antenna. It's resonant at every frequency between 6 and 80 meters. You just turn the crank and it pulls the right amount of wire and stuff like that. It's really slick. But it does take a little while to set it up. So I only set it up if I'm going to be there for a day or two.
Where are you doing that again, Phil? Sorry.
Oh, this is over at the radio camp.
Oh,
over at
yes.
the
Oh, yeah.
Flagler.
Good place for it. Yep.
Yep. Over in the Wagon Wheel. It's always fun making lots of contact and seeing people's antenna setups there. It's a good time. Anything else good at the order? There's a lot today. Lots of exciting things coming up.
I don't know.
Okay.
One thing that, and this is for Dave to consider. I know it's going to be complicated, but for those of us who are operating radio in the Wagon Wheel, I can just tell you as a new 991A owner, those front ends are more sensitive, and if they're exposed to too much RF nearby, they blow. So we may want to think about, I don't know if others are having same with 7300s, same situation issues that, somehow to know when people are transmitting and what bands they're on in the Wagon Wheel, since we're at proximity to each other, might be worthwhile, not to mention RF safety.
Yeah, that's a good point.
David,
But,
did you say what blows in the 991A?
There's a front end before the preamp that is sensitive, and if there's too much RF in the vicinity, it will basically blow a resistor in that path. You can query it online. You'll
Okay.
see it's documented.
That's
I
really
think
good to
that
know.
was-
I've got a 991A.
I think that was the problem with the 991, wasn't it? That they corrected with the A version.
I'll
Wasn't that
have
the
to-
finals?
No, it was in the front end of the receiver. Robert, I'm going to check because I think it was on the A as well, but I'll check. Maybe you're right.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It was the finals in the 991 that were blowing, so maybe this is a different issue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, be wary of there might be some local RFI from other folks transmitting. But usually we usually handle that pretty well, and there's not usually a problem. So
And you
and if
can't
that's
bring,
it,
we can't bring our kilowatt.
yeah, sorry, might not be feasible in that kind of a situation either.
You can always go down to the beach and use it there.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
Get that salt water working for you.
Oh yeah, that saltwater effect, it's great. Okay, once more I ask, anything for the good of the order? All right, anybody have anything for show and tell time today? Show and tell. Got anything interesting? Any interesting contacts?
What'd you buy at the swap meet?
Ooh, that's a good one. The guy got a tuner for my 7100 for $50. It one of those LDG nice. It's basically never used. It's still in the box.
100 feet of 7/8.
I bought a baker's dozen of scones.
Yeah,
They
those
were
are good. Thanks,
too.
Hal.
Thanks, Al. I bought I found a 6x6 MFJ antenna switch that was one of the things I needed for my station. And also bought a 102-inch whip for mobile, which I was definitely looking for it there, because if you buy it online, the whip costs $30, but the shipping costs 40 or 50. So that worked out well.
I got Phil's FT70D. So as we talked about earlier.
Oh, you bought mine from the country store? Well, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
thanks very much. I like it.
yeah, no problem. It's like I upgraded to an FT5 a month or two ago, so I figured it was time to sell that one. Upgraded to a newer Fusion radio. Color screen and everything. Ooh, and that's got APRS and all that.
Well, maybe in a year or so, I'll do that too.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap though.
What did you have before the FT3DR?
No, I had the FT70 that Gregor had in his hand.
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know the 5 was coming out, and I got the FT3DR, and then a couple weeks later, the FT5 came out. Oh,
So
yeah.
I haven't had a chance to play with it yet, but I'm looking forward to setting it up.
You have to turn off your blur, Dan.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Did.
I got this totally badass decade box, Cornell Dubilier.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it's in perfect condition.
Yeah. Nice.
Hal, send me all your receipts for the swap meet so I can finish up.
Oh, now also go ahead.
Anybody else have receipts that want to get reimbursed? Please send them to me, because I got a ton of work to do.
I'm still waiting for something from Sunbelt Rentals. I got to give them another call Monday.
Does anybody want to buy some tickets to the swap meet?
Week old, all right. That is steal. It must be a steal.
I'll give you a really good discount.
I don't have the bill yet from the fairgrounds yet, Jim. So
okay.
Yeah, you got to get all those in, because we got an audit coming up in June.
Yep.
And Jim, I also sent you the check from the VEs for the room.
Cool. Thank you.
Any other cool stuff? I picked up a basically brand new CS 800D for. It's a 50-watt DMR mobile. Looking forward to setting that up, putting my code plug in it.
I picked up a lot of money, and I'm hoping that I don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I don't have to give too much of it away, because the club could really use it.
Yeah. Keep in mind the swap meet pays for a lot of what we do, and it keeps our dues low.
Do we know what the attendance level was this year?
We're still going through that, I think, Jim.
Still going through it. If you want to buy some tickets, I still have some.
Day old tickets? Nah.
No, they're not day old. They're a week old.
Week old.
Very stale.
Even with the
Stale
preservatives,
by
I'm not
now.
buying.
Yep. Actually, I got a whole big stack
Oh,
of them.
wow.
All right, I'm going the other way.
Okay.
If you volunteer to work next year at the swap meet, you won't need a ticket. So
That's
That's
correct.
right.
And you get to sell your stuff for free and you get in early, which is like, I bought that tuner for, it's like on Friday night. So there you go. That's the volunteer, folks.
yeah, sign up now for next year.
I don't think Mike has that up yet.
What'd you get, Dan? You were showing something there.
Looked like a boat anchor.
No, it's not a boat anchor. Let me turn it. No, I got this for $5. It's a ICO function signal generator for TV or for old tube radio repair.
Cool.
Primo condition too. $5.
Reconditioned?
No, it's in primo condition. Absolutely, it's in absolute immaculate condition.
Looks nice.
$5. Yeah, that's pretty much all I bought. I really held back this year.
Did you
Like,
also
oh, yeah.
buy the radio on top of it?
No, I got that for free.
Yeah, can't beat that price.
Yeah,
you
no.
fix that.
It's like there's always, it's like you never know what you can find there. And I always find something that I need there. It's always a good deal. So that's why I love the swap meet so much.
Well, next year, well, maybe not. Yeah, next year we'll have a new treasure, so maybe next year I'll actually be able to go out on the floor a little bit more.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like you must be missing out.
Yep.
Anything that you need or want to get? Jim?
Girl Scout cookies. We missed those
I know.
this
What was up
year.
with that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I was looking for them.
Yeah.
Now I have to go around to the grocery store to get some.
So,
Safeway.
do we have anything else before I turn off the
Turn it off.
recording?
Oh yeah, it's like I should probably adjourn this too.
I've got a little something.
Oh, you got something, Gil?
Yeah, it's my usual question. My good friend W7, anyway, Worth Gurley, WG, what's the latest on him?
Gil or Gil?
Yeah.
Worth. I haven't heard from him in a while. He's still around and kicking. Still operates CW.
Wow.
Haven't seen him in person in a while. We've had the clubhouse here open since the middle of last year.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been around. He's been on Zoom a few times.
He's somewhere between 102 and 104, and that's why I asked. Thanks for a little extra time there.
Oh yeah, it's like yeah, Worth's still around. He's still kicking, still operating the code, still quite good at it too. Quite good with a straight key. Anything else with anybody else with anything before we adjourn it for today?
Stick around after we close the meeting. You can still do some rag chew.
Oh yeah, yep. It's like when we won't close it until everybody leaves. I don't hear anything, so we'll go ahead. Is there a motion to adjourn today's general meeting?
7 RHE, I so move.
Okay, thank you. And who seconds?
Second.
Okay, we got a second. Go ahead and thank you, Jim.
Who seconded?
I did.
Adam.
87 UAK.
Adam. Katie.
Vote for number 2.
Who's the contrarian?
Vote for number 2. All right, let me stop the recording.